Hi, it's Melissa from SoGoSurvey, and I have two questions for you. 1, have you ever asked an expert for advice? 2, did you listen? For better or for worse, most of us have a narrow field of expertise, 1 or 2 areas where we know a lot about. However, most of us, for better or for worse, don't know everything, and that's the reason that we reach out to experts. Many points in your life, maybe it's a medical opinion, maybe it's something to do with education, maybe it's financial advice. We know there are a lot of areas that we need to ask for an expert opinion on. Yet what we find is many people ask for that advice and then don't listen to the feedback they receive. So I'd like to narrow this down in my expert opinion to 2 different issues. One is expertise and one is trust. The first point is to be able to accurately identify the expert that you're looking for. So you want to find out, what answer do you need to have, which will lead you to what question do you need to ask. Of course, the real follow-up there is, who knows the answer to this question? If you're asking for feedback about financial services, it's probably someone in that field. But if you're looking specifically for a car loan, that's a big difference than asking for somebody who happens to know about banking or credit unions in general, for example. So making sure that you're able to narrow that down even more. When you're thinking about your customers, for example, you want to think about, is this a question that can be answered by people who've been with us for many years, or people who are new customers, or people who've had a specific interaction or experience with our company? With employees, you want to think about the same things. Is this a question that can be answered by someone in a specific role or a specific department, with a certain title or certain, range of expertise? You really want to be able to think about narrowing it to the right people so that when you do get those answers, you have the best information possible. And of course, then when you do get that information possible, you've already planned that you're getting the right answers from the right people. So you need to be able to take those answers seriously, understand it, ask questions. Again, going back to the medical doctor, if you are given a diagnosis or some prescription or something like that, being able to understand it fully and being able to take it seriously, it's a valued opinion. You've already sought it, and so it's important to give it your full consideration. What we find, though, is sometimes people go through this entire process and decide not to listen to that feedback. So let's say that it's your customers. If you find out the customers who've been with your organization for a long time value one thing, and then you go ahead and change it, there's a real question, there's a real disconnect, because they're going to remember that you've had that conversation, you've reached out to them for that expertise, and somehow you chose perhaps not to trust that opinion or trust that feedback. It's a very serious disconnect that you're setting up with those experts, as well as those you haven't even reached out to yet, who could benefit from you taking that advice, or at least considering it more seriously. It doesn't mean that we always need opinions or we need advice from outsiders, but it's really making sure that we're getting advice from the right people so we know how to react to it and what we should implement and we should take more time to study. So we know that, as I mentioned, customers and employees are pretty big groups to start with. We're probably going to want to narrow it down. We work with a lot of clients who are reaching out to very specific groups, maybe panel services or even people they know specifically. They just really want to narrow it down. And so being able to connect with the right experts on the right topics, and then being able to show, yes, we're going to use this data. This is a cornerstone of what we do here. So if this is something that's of interest to you, we'd love to connect with you. You can visit our website and chat with us, chat with some of our experts, and even join webinars as well on these specific topics too, in order to get you connected to your experts and to be able to learn from them as well. Thanks so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you again soon. In the meantime, connect with us on social media at SoGoSurvey or visit our website, SoGoSurvey.com. See you next time.